Firebase Functions has become one of the most popular backend solutions for developers, providing like serverless computing and easy integration with Firebase services. We can now easily use services like Cloud Firestore, authentication, and storage without having to worry about configuring the credentials or endpoints. So in this video, I will show the amazing new features in Firebase Functions. We will cover authentication, Firestore, and creating a REST API that syncs with our Firebase project. So all you gotta do is create a new Firebase project here. I'm just gonna call it Firebase Functions Demo. Okay, so now I'm just gonna I don't want analytics in my project now, but I'm just gonna create a new project here. Okay, so now that it's ready, so I'm just gonna go here. We got a new project here. So here now in the functions, so now that we create a new project here, I'm just gonna say that in order to use the cloud functions, we have to upgrade it to the pay as you go plan, the Blaze plan, because if you don't have it, it won't work, and it wouldn't charge you much at all. It wouldn't even charge at all if you use functions like not that much. If you're not like an organization, it wouldn't charge much for functions. And let's get into the coding part. Okay, so before we start, make sure you ran npm sudo npm I Firebase tools -g on your global computer. I already ran it, so yeah. So you can pause the video if you like. So yeah. So to make a Firebase Functions project, just do this: Firebase init functions. Okay. So now I installed the Firebase. So here before you do that, for me, I'm already logged in. Just run Firebase login. Okay, so I'm just gonna say Firebase init functions again, and I'm gonna say here use an existing project because we just created a project. So I'm just going to go here, Firebase Functions demo. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait for it to load. Hold on. Okay, so now that it loaded here, so it's gonna ask the language that we are gonna use cloud functions. So now, for now, I'm just gonna use we can use like JavaScript, TypeScript, and Python, which is very cool. But for I just want to keep it simple. I'm just gonna go JavaScript, and we can use ESLint to catch probable bugs, and it can help our style of our code. So I'm just gonna say no for now, but if you're like working on a project, you should have ESLint. So now I'm just gonna say, do you want to install dependencies with npm now? Yes. So it will, and in the functions folder where we can write our functions, and we will deploy those functions to the cloud. Firebase Functions version 2 is actually pretty nice, because it allows you to import like little things from like a library. Like it would like reduce the bundle sizes from our app, like in the Firebase client side SDK. So now I'm just gonna cover auth first. Now I'm just gonna tell you about how to, first off, I'm just gonna tell you how to listen to users how to listen to when user deletes their account. So I'm just gonna say here const authentication auth equals require Firebase functions. So it's a auth object here. I'm just gonna say that exports.listen to user. So here I'm gonna say auth.user as a function here. I'm gonna say on create. These are the difference that we can use. So for example, on create, so it's gonna take in a user value. So here we can access the user's data here, and this is gonna run whenever a user creates an account. So we have to deploy this to make it work. And here I'm just gonna put in, you can do whatever you want here. You can send an email to the user, you can send a SMS, or do whatever. Or here you can just even do another event here. Just say exports dot cool I auth.user dot on delete. So this is what happens when a user deletes their account. We can there's also a context here. We can check first if there's a user here. If there's no context user dot auth, then do nothing. And like we can do many things here. It's just very powerful. Like so next overpowered thing you can do with Firebase authentication is the Firebase admin library. This is like very OP. But we have to use the service accounts in Firebase. So just go to project settings, service accounts, and say generate a new private key. It will download a file for you, and you can put that file in your functions folder. So admin.auth here is very powerful. So I'm just gonna say that admin.auth, and look how much functions there is. Like this is OP. Like this is overpowered. You can get users, import users, delete users, create users, update user. Like you can do so many things. So I'm just gonna say, for example, if there is a user dot email, when a user creates an account, user dot email equals walterwhite@gmail.com. I'm just gonna say here, then admin.auth here. It's gonna say for example, what should I do? I'm just gonna say update user. I'm just gonna say, if you like, you can do whatever you want with the account here. You can update user.uid. It's gonna be, and then disabled. You can change their nickname. You can change everything. You can change their email here. You can change it to anything. It's so OP. Like you can do so many things. Like for example, if Walter White, you can, in this admin SDK, you can even create like a file sort of thing. I'm just gonna like collection users dot doc dot user dot id. Like this is OP, and we can even check here just to make sure. I like to check sometimes if there is a user, like because everyone does this, and I don't want to feel left out. And yeah, so this line of code will check if a user is logged in. So I'm just gonna for example, here's just gonna like make a, I'm just gonna say update if user dot email user dot let's say email here equals walter@gmail.com. So I'm just gonna say here then it's gonna do so many, and it's gonna do many things here, like admin.auth update user.uid. Here you need pass in the UID if you want to update it. So here I'm just gonna say, like, you can make their display name the holy Walter White or something. Like this is too OP. Like this is very OP. Another cool thing that we can do this is that we can import these things. Dear listeners, whenever a document is written, a document deleted or updated, you can do whatever you want. It works as a backend thing. So I'm just gonna say here that exports dot listen to docs. So here it's gonna be on document create. It's gonna be a string here first. This is the route. So I create a messages document here. I create a message collection here just for testing. So messages here will whenever there's a new message here, it will like, for example, it can do whatever you want here. Like for example, I'm just gonna say message just slash message ID. This will work because ID because this is the we'll listen to whenever a new doc here it comes up. So now I'm just gonna say event. It will take in the event and event.doc event.data. This is what we can get here, and it's just very OP. You can do with you can do this with listen to doc updates. You can document update. Document update. You can put the message the route here, or like there's so many cool things you can do with this. Finally, the last thing I want to say is that we can make a REST API with the Firebase functions. So basically, we can say exports.api equals on request here. On request, we're gonna take in the app object here. So app here, there's nothing yet for app. It's not defined yet. So first off, I'm gonna install Express. So I'm gonna install Express. Const express equals I'm just gonna say const app equals I'm just gonna say const express equals require express. So here we can put in middlewares like somewhere here middlewares, but like I'm not gonna put in middlewares, but you can install body parser and course and everything. So I'm just gonna say that const app equals express. So here this is our app, so we can make API routes here. So I'm just gonna mark this as API routes. I'm gonna say here now that .get slash request and response. Okay, so now it's gonna response.send. It's gonna send an object with the message hello and with the success as a boolean. Success true. Okay, so now I'm gonna deploy this function real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna deploy this with emulators here because emulators is cool. So I'm just gonna say Firebase emulators start. Okay. Alright, so in this functions URL, so this is the URL of the functions here. So this is what we got here. That's what I wrote here. So this is what it sent, and we can make test URLs with this. But if you want to make the global, just add some middlewares here. Just add some middlewares here, like cores, like const cores. No, I mean app.use cores. Like you can add cores, body parser, whatever. And like make a good API here. Like you can make a API with Express with Firebase functions. Yeah. Okay, so in conclusion, Firebase functions is very OP. Like it can do so many things. Like it can access the admin, it can update users, and like it can access all these stuff like storage, Firestore, authentication, or creating a REST API. Like it's very OP, like Firebase functions, and you should use it. If you have Firebase, and yeah, it's very cool. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.